Welcome to Glambot. Step 1. Remove the base from the box or travel crate. Place the base on the floor approximately 8 feet away from the desired target location with the power strip facing back. Remove the nested toolbox and place to the side. If needed, level the base using the ratchet adjustment integrated into each of the 4 casters. Ensure the base is on solid ground, level and stable. Remove the 2 magnetic perforated panels and place them to the side. Then remove the power cable and attached e-stop. Step 2. Remove the pedestal from the box or travel crate. Stage the pedestal in front of the base with the access panel facing the target location. Ensure the power cables and the USB cables are laid to either side and will not be pinched when placing the pedestal on the base. Place the pedestal centered on the base, aligning the mounting holes, checking that no wires are pinched. Using the 12mm socket or standard wrench, attach the 8M8 hex head bolts. These bolts are labeled H1 in your assembly instruction manual. Torque tight and go over the bolts a second time as needed to ensure tightness. Bolt tightness on any step of the Glambot assembly is essential for both safety and to ensure as smooth as possible of a shot. If a component is not properly tightened, it may cause micro vibrations which will cause the arm and camera to be more shaky. Next, make sure the power cord is not plugged in yet and that no power is getting to the unit. Then, route the 2 black NEMA plugs and USB-C cord under the frame and plug them into the power strip at the rear of the base. Next, plug the yellow power connector into the mating pigtail from the nested power supply. Finally, plug the 2 USB-A cables into the mini PC, tucking any access cable away. Then, replace the 2 magnetic perforated panels. Step 3. Remove the arm and wrist assemblies from the box or travel case and place on the ground. Set the wrist assembly out of the way. Next, extend the elbow joint out from the stowed position of 160 degrees to a position of 90 degrees. Then place the arm on its side. Locate the dowel pin on the pedestal so you know how to align the arm. With the arm directed straight ahead to the front, align the dowel pin, and set the arm on the pedestal. We recommend having 2 bolts ready to secure the arm so that you do not have to hold it. Place the 2 bolts opposite of each other and thumb tighten. Use the remaining 6M6 hex head bolts to attach the arm to the pedestal. These bolts are labeled H2 in your assembly instruction manual. Thumb tighten all of the bolts. Use the 10mm socket or standard wrench. Using a star pattern of tightening, torque the bolts tight. It is imperative a star pattern of tightening is used due to uneven weight distribution. We recommend going over the bolts 2 to 3 times to ensure the tightest fit. Next, looking from the rear of the unit, begin with the right side wire harness. Plug in the 3 data and power connectors and the USB-C connector into the panel on the bottom side of the arm. Then, attach the left side harness by plugging in the 2 power and data connectors into the lift motor. These connectors are a little tricky to get in. We recommend one hand going from the front side of the unit and one hand guiding the connectors from the bottom on the side. Finally, plug in the mating power connectors for the brake at the rear of the unit. Step 4. Extend the arm to the horizontal position. Orient the wrist assembly such that the nesting motor protrudes out of the top of the arm. Slide the wrist assembly between the plates at the end of the arm assembly. Using the 10 mm socket or standard wrench, attach the 4M6 hex head bolts. These bolts are labeled H3 in your assembly instruction manual. Torque the bolt tight and go over the bolts a second time to tighten as needed. It is important when attaching the wrist assembly to not pinch the wires between the plates. Holding the wires back as you slide the wrist in will help you accomplish this. Plug in the cable on the wrist into the panel on the top side of the arm. If holding the arm, gently let the arm fall to hang vertically to a 90-degree angle, tucking the wrist under. Place an iPhone or camera of choice, weighing 3 pounds or less, into the wrist mount and secure tightly. For the best video quality, iPhone 15 Pro Max is recommended. Double check that the arm is at 90 degrees and the wrist is resting gently on the ground. Plug Glambot into an appropriate outlet and turn the switch on the power strip to on. Glambot will begin the boot sequence, which lasts 30 to 60 seconds. The motors will make an audible sound upon powering up. First, the wrist motors will orient to their respective 0 positions. Immediately after wrist calibration, place your hand under the first joint of the arm to allow the brake to initialize. Apply gentle support until the arm starts to move. The remaining 3 motors will physically calibrate by moving through an extended range of motion in the following order: elbow, lift, and pan. If the arm does not begin to calibrate, check that the lights on the motors are green. If there is an orange flashing light on the shoulder motor, the arm was not properly supported after the wrist initialization. Turn the unit off and back on and start the initialization over. Congratulations! You have completed the initialization phase. You are now ready to begin operation and filming. Step 3. Approximately 2 minutes after calibration, the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi networks will be established. Connect a separate laptop, tablet or phone to the Glambot local network. Refer to your initialization instructions to find your unit network name and password. Then, open the Glambot web app by navigating to a browser and enter the HTTP web address found in your initialization instructions. If necessary, replace the XXXX in the web address with the number found on your Glambot unit. Using the Glambot web app, select Home on the screen. This position will move the arm out of the way while guests enter the envelope prior to filming. This step is an optional feature of Glambot. Next, ensure the speed is set to crawl. Then, select your desired wait duration from when the arm is at the path start location to when the path and filming begins. We recommend 3 seconds. You will notice on the web app a stop button. This button is the desired way to stop your unit and will not cut power to the robot arm. However, in case of emergency, use the emergency stop button on the power cord to cut power to the unit. To run a session, select the desired path button, then tap Start. If the Bluetooth pairing was successful, filming will start once the path begins. To run a subsequent path, selecting the wake button once will exit the video preview, then select the wake button a second time to re-enter the tap to start screen. Please note, this feature will not work if your event profile has multiple edit options. Congratulations, you are now ready to begin running and filming live sessions.